without even thinking about it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the In the Fire podcast. This is episode 59.
59.
Woo, 59. Woo, we've got a good one for you guys. We appreciate you guys listening on Spotify. If you're watching us on YouTube, check us out on TikTok. Check us out on Facebook, Shorts, all of it, everything. All
Facebook Shorts.
Yo, Patreon
YouTube
is
Shorts.
live. Go check it out. Click the link in the Patreon. Just check it out. Just consider it.
Just check it out.
It's an amazing opportunity.
So dope.
We are
so
super
fire.
excited to share with you guys, go deeper with you guys. Today is
Broken friendships.
broken friendships.
Broken relationships. That's like a tough one.
It is a tough one.
It's kind of sensitive, kind of.
Yeah, I would say so. I think a lot of people have gone through this. A lot of people go through this. We all have had that friendship that we've told them, yo, I'm gonna be with you till the end. We're gonna grow old together. We're gonna buy a house right next to each other. We've all had those friendships where we're like, I love these guys. This is gonna be awesome. You know,
I know that.
we're gonna go a long way, but
Things just happen.
things happen. Life gets in the way. People change.
Yeah.
Morals, get altered. Some people surround themselves around the wrong friend group. Check out
Yeah.
the last episode. And maybe you just drift apart. Maybe you move,
A lot of
change
things happen.
schools,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Life happens.
Yeah.
God happens. And friendships don't
Sometimes
continue.
they just don't continue. Yeah. And even today, I just talking to my neighbor. He just told me something. He was like, if it's about a relationship, it's important. Like, don't just think it's not that any friendship isn't important. Any relationship, any friendship is important.
Wow, that's
right?
true.
And for this episode, it's tough because we're definitely not going to be able to know every different and specific situation that happened with you, where it's like, oh no, but this is different. Oh, but then this happened. There's so many specific things that might have happened in past friendships, and there's no way we're going to be able to know every single situation. But what we can do is for ourselves reflect, right? Because we can look back at these friendships, on these broken friendships and relationships, and see for ourselves, okay, how did I act? Right? What did I do? Is there anything that I need to be freed from? Right? Because that's the main thing. That's what we can do at this moment. Because I know a lot of these friendships we're talking about are in the past, right? So what we can do right now is look back, right? And so I have a verse I want to share real quick that I thought about it instantly as soon as I was preparing for this. It's Hebrews 12:14. Make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy. Without holiness, no one can see the Lord, right? We are God's children. We are representatives of Jesus, right? And this goes with how we manage relationships,
Okay.
right? What it's basically saying here in Jersey terms is be on good terms with everybody. Like, try your best to be on good terms with everybody.
Okay.
Do your best to make peace. Let there be peace in all your friendships and all your relationships. And I know, again, we're talking about things from the past. The reason I share this is if you look back at whatever happened in your past friendship or broken friendship relationship, ask yourself if you were the one that was like trying to be on good terms with them.
Yeah.
Like, what were you doing in that specific situation? Were you trying your best to show love to them?
Yeah,
and find peace with
I
them?
think in situations like this, it's really easy to play the blame game.
Yes.
It's very easy to say, the relationship ended because they didn't put enough effort. They didn't love me enough. They didn't do this. They did this. They didn't do this.
Yeah.
And we fail to reflect on ourselves.
Because a lot of times we find ourselves reacting and not responding.
Exactly.
Right.
And it takes two people to make a friendship, just like they say, it takes two people to, takes
Takes two people something. Right? I know what you're talking about. I forgot the exact one. It takes,
two people something, but
takes two to something.
yeah, to tango.
Tango. Nice.
But I
Tango.
think that's referring to Yeah, so
lost. That's okay.
yeah,
Keep
we
going.
lost. Yeah,
Keep going.
Anyway, you have to self-reflect. You have to. You have to, because if you play the blame game and you rid yourself of any fault, that's not a safe way to go, because if you were at fault in any reason, you're going to carry that over. You're not going to learn from it. You're not going to improve it. You're not going to get rid of it if you have to. And it's just going to carry over to your next relationship.
That's such a good point. Because, again, we can be blinded by our anger and blinded by our bitterness and say, they're the problem. They did this. And, like, we're always putting the blame game, which is such a good point. Like, on this podcast, we are humble. We are like, yes, we don't dismiss what happened, but we always want, like, the best for us. right?
Yeah.
And the best for you guys, the best for us is that you guys look back on yourselves instead of playing that blame game, saying, okay, even though they might have done something terrible,
Yeah.
where can I learn from this?
Yeah.
Right? That's the biggest thing you can do is
100%.
how can I learn from this? How can I see what I did in that situation so I can learn from that and not let that happen again?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I've had relationships that I thought would last a long time. They come to an end.
Yep.
Betrayals happen, and the first instinct is to go, it's their fault. I don't want to be friends with you. You did this.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but if we really take on a different level of humility, you start going, okay, why did they say that? Why did they have the feeling of betraying me? Could it have been something I did? Could have, like, the way I acted or the way I was treating them lately caused them to react this way and do that, and now it like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of situations, and like you said, we don't know all of it.
Yep.
These are all different, but we do have to self-reflect. That is the first step.
Did I even try solving the problem, or was it just being petty?
Exactly.
Like, did you try to fix the friendship, or out of your pettiness you were like, nah, I don't need them, and then you let them go, right?
Yeah. I don't know. As I was looking into this episode and just thinking about it and praying about it, Jesus and his disciples came to mind. Because I was looking at friendships in the Bible.
Yeah.
And a lot of friendships, they don't really end like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
broken, like kind of
you're in a bad way. Yeah, it's kind of just like one dies and then the other one's like, oh man. You know what I'm saying? David and Jonathan. That's a awesome friendship. That is an awesome friendship.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about Jesus, and I referred to this the other day on the other podcast episode. But his disciples, Judas, Peter's the one that denies him, right?
Yeah.
Bro, man lived half of his life with these people, went through it all. And when I say thick and thin, I mean actually thick and thin, bro. They did everything together.
Interesting.
They suffered. Imagine like if somebody came up to me and they were like, "Yo, you're friends with Lewis, right?" No, I don't know that guy. How would you feel?
Oh my!
That would be the biggest heartbreak of my life if I heard you say something like that. Like, I don't know who Danny is. No, I don't know who that is. Don't relate me to him. No thanks. Bro,
wow.
When Jesus thought, these are my brothers, these are my boys, these are my disciples. I love these guys. For him to deny him 3 times.
Wow.
And then for Judas to, my boy, listen, hear me out. I would have rathered him like start yelling and pointing at Jesus like, it's him, and then like run away, but a kiss?
Yeah, I just read that a few days ago.
A gentle, nice kiss of betrayal? Yeah. Bro, don't kiss me. I'd rather you slap me.
Wow.
A friend kissing me to betray me? Nah, bro. I'd rather you like do something crazy.
Wow.
But a gentle, nice, it's kind of like I know what I'm doing. And sorry, but not sorry. He's a kiss. Like, nah, bro, I can't.
Wow. And that's so crazy because I'm thinking about it. Yeah, Peter denied Jesus. Yeah, Jesus, after he came back, you know, like in his his form, they were hanging out together, and Jesus didn't, you know, act different towards Peter. Like, oof, you denied me? Get out of my face, my boy. You fake, my boy. It's kind of like it's like me saying to you, Danny, yo, Danny, I would ride. I'm your ride or die, Danny. Yeah. Anything, me and you are going together. Bet. You know, Danny? Nah. I don't know, Danny. Who's that, Danny? No. Ask me again. I don't know who this guy is, bro. I don't know. And then you look at me, the rooster crows. Bro, that's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, like, Jesus, he, you know, after again, he asked him, like, Peter, do you love me? Right? Like, do you love me, Peter? Do you love me? Like, Jesus stayed the same, you know, and that's the thing. Like, he didn't let that stop the friendship because he saw Peter's, like, I guess, you know, fear and how Peter is. And that brings us to a point I want to share. Another verse I have that kind of, it's the same as the other one. Romans 12:18. Do all that you can to live in peace with everyone, right? And I read this on the website. It was really cool. They said that another way to read this commandment would be never let yourself be the reason for an unpeaceful relationship with another person. Which I love that.
That's crazy.
That's so good.
That changes a lot.
Never let yourself be the reason for an unpeaceful relationship with another person. Never let you be the reason. You should never be the reason, right? We're, like I said before, God's sons and daughters, we represent Jesus, And I'm sorry, this is kind of a scary thing to say, but we have to be the bigger person.
Yeah.
Right? What did Jesus say? Forgive them so God, the Father, can forgive you. Right? We have to, I know it's scary, but we have to be the bigger person here.
And that's the next point I had was forgive.
Yeah.
That's the next process of healing, especially from broken relationships. Is okay, we said get the root. We said self-analyze. Why did this friendship end?
Yeah.
Get that root. What caused it to fall apart?
Was I trying my best to show love?
Forgiveness.
Yeah.
You have to, if you want to heal and you want to have a successful friendship next or some good friends, you need to forgive.
Yeah.
You have to. Because if you hold on to that grudge, it will carry over. You might not feel like it. You're just like, nah, I don't think it will. I could just forget it, leave it in the past. No, you got to forgive.
Yeah.
You got to set them free. Go watch our forgiveness episode.
Yep.
That's 2 plugs this episode. My bad. But you got to forgive. And you got to seek forgiveness too, because if you were at fault, that's okay. We make mistakes.
Exactly.
Just because we're followers of Jesus doesn't mean we can't be the root of a broken relationship. Sometimes that's just how it goes. Sometimes we make mistakes, and maybe the other person is just like, you know what, I don't want to continue anymore.
And that's the thing. Like, if you're doing all you can to make peace with a person, for you to not be the reason for any unpeaceful, for you to be the bigger person, to put your pride aside, to do all you can to apologize, to make it right. If you're doing all that and the person is doesn't really care and doesn't want to maybe make things better. Yeah. That's kind of their thing. That's
right. Like, we said it before. It's like, we are called to forgive in the Bible. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to reconcile. You have to stay friends with them. Yeah. That's the thing. I would say, like, I guess one of the questions, it's like, okay, the friendship fell apart. Should I try to fix it? And I know it would probably depend on the situation. Definitely.
The specific situation.
One thing I would just say is really pray about it. Yeah. 1000%. You gotta pray about it, because maybe it was God. Or it was most likely God was just like, okay, I need you to separate yourself from this person. And sometimes, unfortunately, God's going to leave it not up to you, but he's going to be like, okay, like if you watch the last episode, you're like, I got to end this friendship. Yeah. Sometimes God will put that responsibility on you. Other times he's just like, it
would just kind of separate.
Yeah, it's time. It's time that we get some distance between these two. Yeah. But definitely pray about it. Seek some wise counsel. Should I pursue this friendship again? Should I try to reconcile? I forgave them already. Should I just be friends with them again, or should I just let it go?
Yeah. And again, that's up to the specific situation.
100%.
And like Danny said, it's not that for you to forgive that person, it doesn't mean you have to keep talking to them. Yeah. Right. That we care about what's going on with you guys, and it's like, you need to forgive for yourself. So you won't be constantly bitter and constantly mad. Yeah. So you can be like, I let that go. And it's not you don't have to reconcile, right? Yeah. That's for a specific situation.
100%.
But definitely, and we know it's difficult, forgive. You have to, right? 100%. And pray that God will help you that, because that's like an everyday thing. Yeah.
Be patient. The healing process can be slow. Yeah. The healing process can take a while. It doesn't happen overnight. They actually call it like a friend breakup. Because it sucks.
It does.
It's losing a friend. I had somebody that, bro, I would text them every day. We went from texting every day to, it felt like overnight, but it was like over a couple weeks, where we just stopped talking completely.
That's the first, bro.
That's hard. It was very hard on me. It actually, wow, now that I think about it, it took me maybe a year and a half, almost 2 years to get over this friend breakup. Wow. Kind of crazy. That's a long time. Yeah. 2 years is a decent amount of time, but I felt like throughout the time, yes, it was getting better, but I still was I was like, I kind of miss this person. But nah, it's really hard. And I want to express that we understand you, that we know this is that it hurts, that friend breakups are something else. But we also want to encourage you that there is light on the other side. There's a reason for this. Sometimes we have to just lose people. We have to lose the people around us to gain the blessings that God have for us. I saw this one thing where it's like, you need to let go to let in. Sometimes you got to let people go so that those new blessings from God, which if you think right now you have the best there is, if you're like, I've got some good friends, and God's like, I've got better. You're just like, okay, God, let me see what you got.
That's why we encourage you guys, pray about this stuff, because this
100%.
is very sensitive stuff. So pray about it. And also another thing too, I was thinking, like, in these moments when, you know, when things like this happen, you could almost get into a deeper healing, right? Where you can, like, okay, this just happened. I'm acting this way. Okay, why am I acting this way? Why do I feel this way? Is there something inside of me from, like, the past when I was a child or something that's kind of coming out in this moment of whatever that happened, or moment that happened before? I think it could be a chance for you to kind of, like, yes, self-reflect, but also understand yourself even more, and, like, maybe even get some deeper healing in, like, because things like situations, they kind of bring stuff out of you that you don't even know were there. And so you see that and you're like, whoa, what is that? Why am I acting this way? Why is this? Why am I saying this? Why am I acting like this? It could be something about you you don't even know. And so you could, if you have the eyes to see it, you know, like, look at yourself and see, is there some deeper healing
that can
be done in this situation?
It kind of reminded me of, you know, when you work out and it kind of, like, breaks the muscle down.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the science behind it. Like, your muscles, like,
it
rips, right? So I think, like, it's kind of cool what you said, because it's like, okay, now that the wound is open, you're kind of going through this hard moment. That's the time that it's like, let's do the deep healing. Yeah. Like God, work in me. God, release things that don't belong in my heart anymore. You know, and like you said, we don't realize a lot of this stuff until we're in the moment. Yeah. Until that situation arises where you're just like, whoa, I got to get rid of this. I got to stop thinking this way or acting this way. Or it's like, this is why the relationship broke. Okay, now I know for the next one. Those are things that you need to mentally write valuable. Down and write down in your heart, because it should only get better from here. Because if you go through a hardship and you don't learn from it, there was no point of the hardship then. Wow. Because it's like a pit, right? If there's a pit in the road and you fall into it, wouldn't you want to know where it is, how big it was, the depth, what was covering it, why you fell in? Maybe you were looking at your phone, you were distracted, and you fell into the hole. Okay, cool. Next time you go around to that same route, you know there's a hole there. But if you don't think about any of that, you're like, oh, oops, I fell, I'll get out. And then next route, you're like, oops, I fell again. What the heck? You want to learn. You want to look at the friendships that failed.
Recognize the patterns that you have.
The patterns. Recognize the patterns. Look at yourself. Recognize how you react to certain situations. Maybe there's some things that just trigger you. You were like, okay, I don't want this triggering me for my future friendships. And not just for yourself, but now you're looking at the other person. Now you reflect on the other person. Okay, what are things that they did that caused the relationship to fall that I don't want other friends? That you can probably realize before you get deep into friendship with new people.
It's kind of like, if you want to trust somebody, make sure they're trustworthy. Yeah.
Right. Oh, dude, I was just talking to my best friend about that. And we were like self-reflecting about our friendship. Yeah. And we were just like, the reason we have such a strong friendship right now is trust. It's 100% trust. And I told him, I was like, I feel like if anybody came up to me and told me, yo, Fraser did this, I would have been like, nah. And I could defend it with my 100%, because I trust him and I know what he's told me and I know he wouldn't lie to me. So if somebody was like, yo, Fraser went to a party on Friday, I'm like, no, he didn't. No, he did. We saw him. Like, no. Like, even if they wanted to show me, I'd be like, no, because I trust him. And there's that root of trust. And I had a friend kind of break that trust for a little bit. And I was just like, listen, man, before it goes any farther, you've got to know trust for me is huge. Trust for me is huge, and I love you, and I don't want this friendship to end because I care about you. We don't lie to each other. We don't. So and trust is a big foundation of friendships. So good. And I learned, and how did I learn that? From past relationships. Because a lot of the ones that broke for me were just betrayals, were mistrust, where I was like, nah, this person would never. And then I found out they did. I'm like, bro, why didn't you say anything? Wow. So I learned trust was the biggest thing, and I learned that was a a requirement for my friendships. And some of you need requirements. Some of you need to establish some requirements before you get into any relationship or any friendship. What are things that are a deal breaker for me? For me, like I just said, if I am starting a friendship with somebody and I catch them in the smallest lie, even if like, oh, I went to the bathroom, but they really didn't go to the bathroom. No, bro. For me, it's like, I don't think we're going to be the closest of friends. Just from that. Because that is something that is a requirement for me.
Well, I think it's a requirement for every friendship.
100%. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. So if somebody just lost a close friend, what's one thing you want to leave them with for this episode?
First is, were you being Jesus to that person? Were you doing all you can? Did you put your pride aside? Were you trying your best to fix it, to make things right, to make amends, to be on good terms, to forgive? Did you do all you could with the friendship, right? Second thing is, see if it's something that needed to happen. Maybe, right? Sometimes it just needs to happen, right? And also just get in some prayer. Be like, God, I don't know why. Can you show me? Is this because you want it to happen? Is it because I acted a different way than I shouldn't have? Right? Pray about it. Just those three things. Discern what's going on. Is it you? Is it God? Or is it them?
Yeah. That's something I actually wanted to say is, we mentioned prayer a lot to the people in these episodes.
Yeah.
I want you guys to remember that prayer is not just a conversation with God. It's not really like it is, and it's not necessarily just a rant to God, but you're also talking to somebody that can actually do something about it. So when you're praying, like when we say pray about it, we mean like pray about it, like get in deep prayer, like, yo, God, I'm going through this. Can you show me why this friendship ended? And you'd be surprised, like,
and wait there.
Yeah, you just wait, but you'd be surprised. For me, I've had times where I've prayed that, and bro, out of nowhere, I'm just like, whoa. Like certain situations happen. I get experiences. New friends come in, and I'm like, that's what happened. In the moment, we're clouded.
Yeah.
We're clouded 100%. You're just like, why is this happening to me? Why did I lose them? Yep. I'm going to be all alone forever. No, you're not. You're going to have an amazing friends that are coming your way.
Yeah.
But pray about it. Pray about it. Yeah. There is a learning experience here.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah. And have the faith for it too. If you're just praying like, oh, he's not going to say anything. Bye. No. Yeah. Like pray with faith. Be like, God, and wait. Like, Lord, please show me about this friendship. What happened? Like, and just talk and just be in quietness. A lot of times in conversations, it's not just you talking to the person.
Yeah.
Right. Then it's not a conversation. Like two people need to talk.
Yeah.
So if you're talking all the time and you're like, amen, and you leave, like you need God to talk to you too, right?
Yeah.
Be in some quietness and let God speak to you in that time so he can help you and guide you and show you maybe why these things happen with these relationships.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We hope this helped you guys a ton.
Yep.
Check out the Patreon. Check out the Discord. Check out
the Patreon.
Facts,
please
bro.
check it out.
Let's do
check
it.
it out. We're so excited for that.
Absolutely. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. We love you, and we'll see you guys for the next episode. We'll see you guys for the next episode.
Peace.